Alright, what's going on, everyone? I am live now. We're on RuneScape 3 specifically, not old school. I just logged in. Just wanted to show you this real quick. This is someone who is mythical to me. It's Shrek RS. This is why I believe you should never remove all the cosmetics from RuneScape. This is them after the update. It is gorgeous to me, and I wish there were more accounts like this that are that are just meme characters like that. So, real talk, I booted up stream because I saw they announced a ton of things, kind of right off the bat, and I'm just gonna say, oh, hold on, bank pin time. Let me make sure you can't see this. Cool. Let's turn that back on. Perfect. So they released a little mid-game rebalance preview today, July 3rd. For me, obviously, it's a British game, so I don't know what hour they actually posted this, but this is when I'm seeing it. Which includes a ton of changes, including some things that I was yapping about on streams previous. I don't know if someone over at Jagex was watching my streams. They saw my little killing a dragon pickaxe, or killing a bunch of dwarves for dragon pickaxe and getting dog shit. Me complaining about it and then saying I'm just gonna wait for Chaos Giants. Guess what? One of the major things that they changed under drop rates, Dragon Pickaxe drop rates. It is going from 1 in 5,000 kills to 1 in 3,000 from the Chaos Dwarves, which is the spot I was farming. And then the new spot coming up, they're changing it from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 1,000. So literally a 10th as rare. So 10 times more likely. It's huge for that's like absolutely massive for getting it to actually drop. They also announced some rebalances to fletching. I didn't really happy about it, but it is really far behind a bunch of the other stuff, where basically they're going to bring in line all the materials from fletching to be more in line with your actual level for ranged and other stuff. So we're going to get the addition of using stuff like orichalcum and necronium as arrow tips and as bolt tips. Currently, kind of the highest you can go right now is you can fletch rune, but it's really high level for what it's actually supposed to be. And you can technically do some dragon as well. Get dragon arrows at 90, but dragon arrows, in terms of damage, are only level 60. So, as you can see, there's a bunch of discrepancies with between ranged and fletching and smithing, essentially. So they're bringing fletching in line. They're also buffing agility for mid-level, finally. Most courses, they're basically just buffing the XP rates. The only ones they're not changing are Wildy course and Hetz Oasis, which were already the fastest ones anyway. Ooh, they buffed Divination a little bit, so it should be easier to gather resources. You won't really have XP changes, but you'll be able to gather energy quicker at lower levels, which is massive for me, considering every time, basically, I can do div for like 4 hours and then get maybe 30 minutes to an hour of actual combat if I'm using necromancy. They're changing. Here are some massive ones for PVM, for people who know what's up. Currently in God Wars Dungeon 1, the way it works is whenever you leave, every kill count that you acquired just disappears. So basically, every time you went there, you had to go farm 40 kills, and then, with whatever resources you had left, go in for the boss. They are making your kill count carry on, and it caps at 200, even if you leave. So basically, you could stock up like 5 full instances without having to kill more mobs. They are also removing instance costs. So it's like usually 100k per hour to run an instance of a boss. It's now 0. So that's just higher GP for the people, especially irons. That's kind of the people who are most affected by it, to be honest. They're reducing the max reputation for God of War's Dungeon 2. So the heart, instead of 5,000 max rep, is 2,000. And they're also removing the additive drop chance. So it's now just, you have a drop chance for the boss that's flat. And then you basically, you earn like, the components, and then kind of the cosmetics. They also did some other huge stuff like moving dive. Dive is now going to be learned at level 30 agility instead of being a quest unlock from Succession. The demonic skull is getting sent to the void. It's no longer existing. Sandstone's going to be a little easier to harvest, red and crystal, that is. Jad now drops its pet instead of it being purchasable from like a minigame person. They're actually buffing the gem bag as well. So this guy currently holds, I believe, 60 of 5 different types of gems. Going forwards, it will hold every type of gem up to Dragonstone. So Jade, Opal, Red Topaz, Sapphire, Emerald, Ruby, Diamonds, Dragonstone. And it'll hold 100 of each. So it's a lot more useful as the upgraded one. What else? Oh, they changed Corp. Sigil drop rates are now equal. And then finally, I guess, the main other thing, Sanguine Crawler, Vampires, and Gloves. Gloves have a better drop rate as well. And then Linza the Disgraced from Barrows. Good old Barrows sister right there. It's going to be easier to get her gear as well. So overall, some great changes. Still some more stuff I think they could do. I think you wait a little bit, see how these play out before you do some more aggressive changes. I personally still think you need to rework agility as a skill into one that actually is truly applicable to overworld movement. I think putting dive on the agility track is a good step in that direction, but I think ultimately you should move away from agility being trained at a specified course, and instead have the courses be like an extra thing you can double down on doing for like extra fast skilling, but then have agi be something you train by, like you would naturally train it by doing questing, just by walking around, diving around. Like even if dive just gave a little bit of XP every time, you know, maybe even surge. I know surge is magic, but let's be real. Alright, as for what's on the actual docket for today, let's see. I could do some... I'll wait on the D&Ds. We don't need to. I've gotten a lot more quest points since last time, real talk. But we are going to want to grind to 85 strength. So maybe we just go for some combat. Actually, let me empty this out first. By the way, it's going to be a short stream, only a couple hours. Just because I'm going to hang out with the family. I think our goal here should be try and grind out some strength levels. Maybe through Flesh Hatcher? So we need 85 strength. So we can complete the dwarf questline, get access to those extra dudes. Yeah, fight Chaos Giants. Then we'll also be able to earn stuff from the Lava Flow Mine. It's a good thing we didn't grind out the rest of the Dragon Pickaxe. These changes right on the horizon. I think we kind of use this time instead to get all the wrecks and prep for that. Should be way, way easier to grind out that Dragon Pickaxe, to be honest. Going from a 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 1,000 drop rate is massive. I mean, I know the Chaos Giants have a lot more health than the Chaos Dwarves. But I mean, relative to what it would have been before. I know people used to say that it wasn't even worth doing that quest because it was just a worse drop rate on the Dragon Picks. Ignore my coin pouch. Actually, would it be better for me to grind out some gargoyles for money? I did buy a bunch of broad bolts for fletching, which was before they announced that. Just saying. My fletching goal here is 82, so that'll let me cut cuticles. Goal for crafting is 85, same with smithing. That's so I can do Sins of the Father, I believe. Need more subtles. Scimitars, goddamn it. Yeah, they should just let you make like better scimitars. Let me make an Elder Rune one. Alright, so we need money. Do I have a contract already? One. I think honestly Gargoyles is probably going to be our best bet, but let's check our Slayer task first. Blue dragons. Okay. Actually gonna skip you. Water fiends are actually gonna be great. I'm almost 78 thieving, which will let me pickpocket archaeologists for archaeology mats, which will actually let me make binding contracts. So then I can use that for this task. Make a ton of binding contracts for water fiends. That won't be today though. But good to know that'll be where I end up soon. Alright. So head over to Canifis. Get a nice little gargoyles going. Actually don't know how much XP. This is gonna be an hour, but we can check. I'm also gonna be doing this for the coins and not the XP. Because as you can see, we're hurting a little bit for coinage. Just a little. I should have brought runes for vampirism. Whatever. We don't need it. Right? Surely. Surely we don't need vampirism or any prayer. I can just sit here. Yo, also, nobody checked my animal farm over at over in Ardoon. Ardoon! I may or may not be starving my Zygamites because I can't afford to feed them. Because there's no good way for me to get a large enough amount of mushrooms to feed them properly. So straight up, it seems like the option Jagex wants me to do is let them starve and then feed them honeycomb when I need to harvest them. Which feels cruel, though they are pixels. I can feed every other animal perfectly fine right now. Even if I got dragons, dude. I could take care of some dragons easy. There's so many, like, they fixed a lot of the problems with getting raw meats. Unironically, due to the addition of Havenhide. There's a dude who sells more meat. You combine that with the dude that sells it in Uglog, and you just kind of have infinite food for them now. But mushrooms, really difficult to come by. I mean, if anyone in chat has a better idea for me to feed my Zygamites properly, let me know, because right now I'm literally growing marigolds to straight up make some honeycomb to then keep them happy and healthy. And that's the best I could do. I'll even look this up. Yeah, that can only be fed with mushrooms. Which is interesting, because you can also harvest mushrooms from them, and then feed them the same mushrooms. Okay. So apparently, my best option is Croesus Front, which would require me to have, what, 88 Hunter? So, straight up just a minimum requirement of 88 Hunter to feed my poor animals on my farm. I mean, I guess I'm coming up on, at what, 90 I can start getting Wushanko mushrooms. But like, I think I'd rather hold on to those for making soups, no? Yeah, I'm looking through. I mean, maybe I could farm Garashian mushrooms? Maybe that's my only other option? Oh, look at our money now, by the way. Already at 74k. Alright, Gate. So I can do Gate or Croesus. Or Gargoyles. I'm at Gargoyles right now. That'll give me Mortmire Fungus. Garagian mushrooms. Yeah, I mean, I guess Garagian mushrooms are the best option. Which means I have to sit in the little fungal area for a while. But I don't have access to beasts yet. So I'd be farming Griffalopines, which I did just unlocked at 88. Oh, wait, hold on, that gives me Griffalic Wand as well. Can that not be... Or what? I can't augment Griffalic? Dude, I swear to God, with the mage gear, they're just trying to make you hate yourself. It feels like there's no good option for weapons until Hellweir. Like, what am I gonna go do next? You want me to farm out a Master Wand? You know, it's basically then what I can do Chaotix. Let me see my other options for mushrooms. I could do some giant dashing kebits. BGH. Okay, there's no good drops from Morchella mushrooms. It's Lampinflora, vine crawlers, bulbous crawlers. Basically. I could farm cockroach soldiers for 1 to 2 at a 1 in 43 drop rate. That sounds awful. Or farm tomb shrooms at 109. Yeah. Straight up, I do Garagian mushrooms, I guess. That's the only way to feed the Zygomites. So how much XP an hour am I getting? $92. We can get it higher than that. Plus, we're kind of just here to make the money go up for a little bit. I don't need to stay here for the whole task. I just need a little bit of money. A little bit. Banger of a century right there. Real talk though, all those changes we talked about earlier are going to be huge for this account already, and for anyone starting up, which should be the goal. Because I know there's going to be people being like, oh, why would you nerf the drop rates after I already did it? You know, and I'm of the mindset that, you know, even if I had already grinded out, say, my dragon pickaxes, both of them, I would still be in favor of the change. Because it's better for the game. Don't think about your experience, think about someone else's. So you make a better game. And if you really need to make it about yourself, make a new account. That way it does affect you. 250k. I'm gonna try and get at least a full 10 minutes here of kills, so we can see what kind of XP an hour we're dealing with. It's gonna be way lower than Flesh Hatcher, I'm sure, but I'm not spending any resources here, and I'm making a lot of raw GP. Flesh Hatcher has pretty good drops, but it's not GP. Which is kind of what we need right now. Because I'll tell you, the folks at Miscellanea, underpaid. Remember, a gargoyle a day keeps the Miscellaneans working all day. There we go, 82 strength. We get nothing. We straight up have no unlocks on strength until 90. I mean, technically 85 for the quest, but... After that, we kind of have easy K, and then we have 99 and 120. Kind of massive. I mean, for Necro, we're kind of there. Though for Necro, we actually do still have some unlocks to go for. We don't even have access to what's his face yet, Raziel. We'll get him soon, though. We also don't even have... We have tier 80 across the board for Necro gear, even though we have 99 Necro. And then, I mean, as you can see here, this is actually... this is my melee gear that I'm rocking with when I'm out of Divine Charge, which is basically Bane +4. Some Dragon Gauntlets, some Bandos boots, ASR, we got a Amulet of Glory. I used to have a Fire Cape equipped, but I gave that up so I could get the Necro Kiln Cape. So now we're just using a Max Cape. Sorry, not Max, a 99 Cape. Not even a melee one. But... And we have our Amulet of Glory trimmed, enchanted. We did earn on this account. I mean, obviously we had to, it's iron, but we got it way before we should have. I want to say I got that before I even set foot in Mole. Hell yeah. Dude, honestly, Slayer Tower... Yeah, what do you guys have in OSRS for Slayer Tower? I assume it's similar mobs, or maybe the same? I'm on the top floor right now. So we have gargoyles and we have abyssal demons. And then, what, mid-floor we have the blood velds over there, and then we have, I want to say banshees? No. It's the other dudes, the ghosts. I think banshees are first floor. There's also, real talk, in RS3, there's, we have a whole Slayer Tower dungeon out here too that you can go in. You need 115 dungeoneering, I think. It's some crazy number. No, that's at a 100. Slayer Tower dungeon. I gotta check on my OSRS account, to be honest. I haven't played it in years and years. It wasn't an iron. Is there a gargoyle boss as well? You guys have a gargoyle boss? No, we don't have a gargoyle boss. We have a hedgehog boss. Okay, where's the little fucker? Yeah, no, we definitely don't have a gargoyle boss, sadly. If you guys have one, that sounds cool as hell. But we have the classics, you know, we have Barrows and stuff. Though we have additional Barrows brothers that you can unlock through some questing. We have a Goddess of Death. We have a giant spider. We have a giant frost golem thing. We have the Barrows brothers again, but this time they're back with a vengeance. No gargoyle though. We have Chaos Elemental. I think you guys have him, right? Out in the wildy still. Good old Zilliana. They actually just announced corp changes in RS3, which is wild for you OSRS players, I'm sure. But they just announced they're changing the drop rates of whatever the rare sigil was. They're making it the same drop rate as the other sigils. But, like, corp is the same, I'm sure. But still, you need a spear for him. All that stuff. Maybe you guys have to have corp, right? Corp was 2007, 2008. You don't want to see Dagonoths, though. Dagonoth King's nasty in RS3. OSRS third joke, dude. RS3, they got hands. I'm not saying they're difficult bosses, but I'm saying they can fuck you up. All for a dragon hatchet. Still the only drop spot for them. Slayer helmet recolor. I'm not sure on recolors. We have different tiers to the Slayer helmet. I want to say there's 4 or 5 tiers to it. One of the tiers though was released like a couple of years ago, so you guys definitely don't have that. We have our own Slayer dungeon, which is kind of cool. You get to kill Slayer mobs to get their soul, and then you trap them in a dungeon. You get to choose which monsters you want to have there. So if you ever get a task, you just go to your little Slayer dungeon, take them out. You don't have to compete for drops or anything. Let me look up the Slayer helmet. We also have a Slayer helmet stand, which is kind of cool. Lets you gain all the benefits of the Slayer helmet without wearing it. So you can, in essence, wear a regular helmet and also have the benefits of the Slayer helmet. That's a late game unlock. This account is only just entering. I would say we're kind of we're end of mid game on this account. I would say maybe just entering end game, but we have 199. You know, it's not anywhere near. And I mean, they just announced, not announced, they had just implemented over the last couple months, like 120 in some combat styles. So like, the main combat styles here go all the way up to 120 now. There's no actual content between 99 and 120. But there is, you do scale in terms of like your actual damage. So like if you're level 120, you're going to be hitting harder than level 99, which didn't used to be the case. It was just kind of an imaginary XP above 99, you know? I'll have to see about the recolor though. I feel like, sadly, if we do have that, you were really happy on the game for once? Dude, I feel that. I feel like, sadly, they would have put that behind a paywall. I'm hoping it's not. I'm on... Here, let me see if I can recolor this. So it would be the Corrupted Slayer helmet. Oh, yeah, we actually can. So you can make it red, yellow, green, or blue. and it's kind of like a trimming onto it. Supposedly, though, it was released initially as a loyalty reward for members. So it wasn't one where you were like paying keys or anything, but it was like you bought a membership, you got free points with it to spend. I would have preferred if it was just in-game earnable, though. That's my stance on most cosmetics in MMOs, especially. Like, here's how I would have it, genuinely. Have certain cosmetics that can only be earned in-game, and then have some cosmetics that you can purchase that are also earnable in-game. That way, if you just really can't be asked to do something or whatever, and you really want the cosmetic, you just buy it. There's people who want that, but if you really don't want to pay money for it, you have a way of earning it. Ooh, you got a red from Abyssal Demons? Huge. Yeah, I'm a far way away from recoloring my Slayer helmet. I don't even have it on right now, but... Well, granted, I'm not technically on task for this one. It's just a Slayer contract. How many kills do you want? 160 something? But I'm excited to get there. Because Fashionscape is the true endgame. But all my gear, honestly, pretty shit right now still. I don't even have full bandos. It will be easier though with the God Wars dungeon changes they have coming up. As they announced, they're changing it so that you're not actually going to lose your kill count once you leave God Wars, which is massive. So you can actually go and bank, come back, already have your kills, and just walk right in, fight your boss. And you can stockpile up to 200 kills per faction. Regen. You can fight Zuck on melee. Real talk, if you enjoy PvM, so like boss fights, RS3, real talk, it's no contest between RS3 and OSRS. I've seen and played a large portion of both, and the difficulty of OSRS is quite literally navigating to your prayer book while walking. RS3, because you have it bound, they go like really hard on mechanics. So like, I don't know if you've seen, you actually get to fight Zamorak, not Krill from the God Wars dungeon, but Zamorak himself, the god. And that fight, it's scalable difficulty, but it gets to a point where you just, it's insane. Really good boss fight. But then there are a lot of things that OSRS just dumpsters RS3 on as well. But I would say, you know, PvM, no contest, dude. I mean, genuinely, I would like to see someone who struggled to do Inferno just try Zamorak blind. I was around for don't get me wrong, I saw some of the OSRS people try out during leagues, and I'm excited for leagues too for RS3, because genuinely I think a lot of parts of RS3 get a bad rap, because people associate the microtransactions with it, which I'm very anti microtransactions. I quit the game for a while because of them. You know, so I get that respect, but it's also like, you know, be fair about what things you're criticizing. Dude, Zamorak, also, if you love Zamorak too, he is a really badass opener. He has a cinematic that kind of shows who he is, why he became the god that he is, before you go in and fight him. And he does not go down easy, dude. There's a couple fights in RS3 that I think are truly, like... Granted, I'm also a WoW player, doing, like, retail mythic stuff. So, some of the hardest boss mechanics up there, and I think there are fights that do not parallel. I mean, obviously, they're different games. You know, one is mouse movement, the other is WASD. You know, it's hard to compare in those senses, but I don't know, man. They made some nasty fights. Like, I'll show you one I haven't even tried here is a Masket. I haven't even gotten the chance to try a Masket yet because I'd quit the game on my main account. And then by the time I started up this account was after, I believe it was after the release of a Masket as an Iron Man, and I just don't have the stats to do it yet, or even the quest requirements. So this fight is nasty. To even attempt it, you have to complete Eclipse of the Hearts, which I'll say this: it is the end of the Desert Quest series, and if you should be familiar with that from OSRS because it's the same Desert Quest series, just with like 20 more quests. So here it is. You have Iclarin's little helper. You got Spirits of the Elid, Contact, dealing with Scabrous, Smoking Kills. I think Missing My Mummy is where you guys stopped getting them, because that's 2009. Then you have these Crocodile Tears, you have Do No Evil, all of these. Just to do Eclipse of the Heart here, which also has a 90 skill requirement. And I think actually like an 80 something. Yeah, and 87 Slayer requirement. Just to even get to do the boss. And then the boss itself is... it's difficult enough to where I saw it and I went, damn, that's crazy. I'm excited though. I'm excited once we get there. But on this account, the best I can do right now kind of is the giant spider. Desert Treasure 2. You see, we don't have that one. I have heard about Desert Treasure 2 though. Gotta learn 4 bosses. Oh, that is the one thing I did hear about. Wasn't there a new quest that came out like a week or two ago that people were complaining was too difficult because it had a boss fight that was super hard? In RS3, we sadly, like, we don't have quest bosses that are super hard. We have bosses that are released that have quests attached to them, but the quest version of them is like a dumbed down version of the real boss. So it's kind of the opposite, which I wish they would have just give you the full thing, you know? Say, here's the quest, do the boss. Disassemble that. I'm gonna go do Flesh Hatch. I did do I mean, because that's the other thing. There's not even... I can't even name a difficult boss in a quest apart from Saren, who is a goddess that you fight. And that's more of a survival fight than anything. But that's an Extinction from 2022. So I think straight up this is the only time we had a difficult boss fight in the quest that wasn't like an actual boss that you could go farm for drops and stuff. And I just wish they would do more quest bosses. just don't have them. Speaking of bossing, though, all this talk has got me wanting to go for a kill. I do not have any divine charge. Oh, you just got the end of the vampire quests. That's awesome. End of the Myrique or Myrique, however you pronounce it. I think on this account, I have not done any of those quests yet. Yeah. Well, I've done Priest in Peril and Nature Spirit. That's interesting. Was the guy's name, what, Draken or whatever? Lord Draken? Because I'm wondering if it's similar to the way it plays out in RS3 or not. Because our Vampire questline ended in 2016. So 10 years ago. Granted, we did just kind of start a new questline that has vampires involved, but I don't know if it's a vampire questline necessarily. Let me go do Flush Hatcher. Expensive spices. Grab our potions. Wait, I want to super defense. Super attack, super strength. And I guess super restores. And some blubbers. Do I even need the blubbers? We'll take like 5. Those. Alright. Here, I'm gonna show you. This is a newer boss. However, this is meant to be a sort of beginner-friendly mid-level boss. So think you fight this before you even go into God Wars. That's kind of the idea here. And this is a boss that's in the wilderness here. The Flesh Hatcher. Macarnas. However you pronounce it. It's pretty easy to take down, especially with my stats. But let's go for it. He gives a lot of XP. In fact, he's designed to be an XP boss. This way. Yeah, we do have a Vorkath. I actually have not fought Vorkath that much. I've heard he's not super fun. Oh, he's the money dragon? Nice. For us, he drops, he's an undead dragon for us. Yeah, this boss is pretty sick, to be honest. And it's not too difficult, as you can see, it's just kind of avoidable stuff. I could, if I wanted to save on prayer, do some flicking. You know, just flick on like this. But it's very simple. Then you have your loot. I can just bank it, go back in. Right, I forgot to bring my ore box. Right, let's go back in. And this guy kind of drops 2 main items. So he has a... my favorite, the Dragon Harpoon. Which, I think you guys have an old school. But it has a special attack where your character goes, here fishy fishy. and then it boosts your fishing by, I think, 3 for a minute. Or for 3 minutes, I guess, deteriorating. Well, what I honestly really like about this boss, they kind of just designed it to be a boss you can fight and train on for XP mid-level. The drops are decent, but they're not like, you're not going to be getting a full set of God Wars style gear or anything here, or like a super powerful weapon. You're going to get either that Dragon Harpoon, or what's the other drop? Oh yeah, you get a necklace that is pretty good for rangers. But it gets like outclassed later in the game once you get to like tier 80 stuff. Until then, no, pretty good. We're gonna see how much XP an hour I get here just off of 10 minutes. It's already way, way higher than I was expecting now. Granted, we are getting basically 1-minute kills. Dude, I have so little adrenaline. Okay, Dragon Longsword. The other thing is it'll drop items like these that... I know you guys don't have this in OSRS, but we have disassembly, so we can kind of break down items we don't need into base components, and use those to make kind of light machinery. So, making stuff like... what is it? Wood cutting accumulators that act basically like an urn. But I think it stacks with urns though too. So it just ends up being like an effective increase in XP an hour gain at the cost of like you have to build it and stuff. Or buy it, I guess, if you're main account. Chum. I'll have to deal with all these spirits later. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just see how many kills we can get here in 10 minutes. Right now, it's looking like I want to guess 400k XP an hour just in strength alone. Which is nutty at this level bracket. I mean, that's nearly 2 levels an hour at 82. Like, that's kind of insane. Granted, the grind does go to 120, but, you know. And also gets way harder on those higher levels. I don't believe. Oh, that was my bad. Ooh, Dragon Bolt tips. Should have been grabbing all these spirits as well. Good news, I guess we can leave all the food in the bank. Probably just bring 10 super restores. Got an insect demon boss that drops the best boots, the best magic gloves. Hell yeah. Dude, I think that's what I want to do once I get... Like, once this account is progressed to a point where I can kind of... I feel I'm kind of in the end game stuff. I want to give some OSRS bosses a shot. Because I know the main learning point for me, and the thing that's going to get me killed, is the fact that you don't have prayers bound. Because, like, right now I can swap between all my different prayers, you know, just on a key binding. On OSRS I have to click every single swap, right? So that, with the movement's going to be a bit difficult to get used to. Especially if my brain's going to want to press 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to check out those bosses, especially the ones that are exclusive to OSRS. I've seen... what I'll say is I've seen some of them through various content, like Gilnor games and stuff. I haven't watched everything, by any means, and I've kind of watched casually. Sailing looks decent, though, I'll say. Which, that is a skill you guys have that we don't. Which is, I believe, the only skill like that. Let's guzzle some food quick. Oh yeah, I also can't guzzle food on a keybind. I have to actually click it for mine. I'm sure, though, OSRS players coming to RS3 are getting bodied by RS3 mechanics because they're not used to bound stuff, though. Because some mechanics, straight up, like, you're not actually gonna have the physical time to go swap your prayer, you know, via clicks and movement. Because if you gotta fucking dive and swap prayer, you're cooked, bro. No! Dude, never forget the special shield. Lock in, gamer, lock in. Take some seeds. Drink up my supers. Also, we're currently at 394k XP an hour in just strength alone, according to my alt one. Let's see if we can't get that to 450. Killed by a basilisk, dude. Should have brought your mirror shield. See, I know that one. We got that one. I fought him in the, I did smoking kills the other day, off stream. It's actually one of the only quests you never accept. I think it might be the only one. Like, there's no quest acceptance in RS3 for it. As far as I'm aware, you just kind of go up to the bosses, kill them, and then you get a quest complete at the end. So I think it's actually classified a mini quest, and I'm not sure. Alright, we're staying... No, I'm running. Oh, I was too late. That's what I get, punished for being greedy. Oh, 450k XP an hour. I was correct, dude. So we're looking at about 450k strength XP an hour. Death bank? What's a death bank? As in, like, you lost all that from... Or is that... Because I'll tell you, for RS3 death mechanics, it's gone through a couple iterations. It used to be that you had, like, safe deaths and unsafe deaths, where the unsafe deaths you would lose everything but 3 items. And then you could go run to death to get them back. Now you just pay a small fee of GP and get everything back, basically, every time you die. And that fee that you pay is relative to what you had equipped and in your bags at the time of death. So like right now when I die, I don't pay that much because my gear is worthless for the most part. You gotta pay to get your items from the gravestone. Gotcha. Oh, so you have to pay 422k? Dude, that is tough. That is tough. See, I was gonna say my death costs right now are like 10k, maybe. Which is very manageable. Especially for learning a new boss. Granted, it's not gonna stay that way. Once I'm in fully augmented, you know, tier 90, 95 gear, I'm paying a pretty penny, but compared to what it used to be, it's so cheap now. Oh, you're on a 56 mil amulet. Yeah, that'll do it. Just straight up, let me inspect my gear, see what's even expensive. Okay, so I have an 850k. Yeah, fit check, everyone. Fit check. Buy your copy of the GEs today. You got the Amulet of Glory trimmed, enchanted, for a measly 850k. We got my Asylum Surgeon's ring. That's from a quest. You cannot purchase it, so priceless. Let's add dollar amount infinity for that. We got a Bane two-hand sword. Get high alks for 256k. That's right. High rolling out here. What else have I got? I got my 128k Bane helm. 320k Bane chest piece. How much are the Dragon Gauntlets? 30k out? Damn. Cheap. 192 for the pants. And then my boots are 170. So real talk, all in, I think I'm wearing less than 2 mil. Definitely less than 2.5. But again, I'm not even in Bandos. Like, if I had Bandos chest piece, that would probably be a bit pricier. Because in this game with Invention, which is a RS3 exclusive skill... Oh, it used to be 80 mil. Damn. Did you buy it at the 80 mil, or did you get it to drop? Or craft it? I'm not sure which, because we don't have that amulet. We have some amulets that we build from death, though. So we have like a Reaper amulet and a Hydrix amulet. And an Amulet of Souls. And the one everyone's after at the end is the Essence of Finality. Bandos is your third best melee armor. Wow, that really puts it in perspective then. That's crazy. Bandos for me... Actually, let me just check here. At everything that's better than Bandos. Because Bandos is 270. Let's just count the armor sets, right? So... here's like Subjugation, Bandos, all that stuff. Technically, I could get Statius armor. I can get Bane armor, which I'm wearing, is tier 80. The problem with Bane armor is that you cannot augment it. And augmentation is the thing that like makes all the gear much more powerful. So it's kind of like a... You get the defensive bonuses, but not the offensive bonuses for the most part. But then I could also get Linza's armor, tier 80. I could get Torva armor, tier 80. I would argue Torva's the best of those, so one piece of armor ahead. That's at tier 80. You get a... tier 85, you get some boots and stuff. Arguably, you could run something like Tetsu armor. That's more. It's so defensively statted. I don't think anyone ever actually uses it. I guess the thing is, there's a lot of like random pieces too that you can kind of fit in. So rings, amulets, cloaks. See, like there's my quest ring, which is really powerful because it has a ton of stats and gives you a chance at something. Oath plate, which is only better than Bandos with slash build. Hell yeah. Oh, we have this though. Jaws of the Abyss. Wait, I can wear that? Here, let me show you Jaws of the Abyss. So, it's a, I believe it's a hat that is melee power armor, so it gives you tier 85 power, which is Bandos is tier 70 power, so there's 15 tiers above it, and it has a passive of generate additional adren, which is what you use to spend for your big abilities, based on how many bleeds you have. So there's like a helmet that I guess is better than Bandos' helmet. You have Elder Rune and Masterwork, both of which are better than Bandos. I think Elder Rune is better than Bandos, even though it can't be augmented. You have some of the big ones here: Malevolence, Sirenic, Tectonic. So Malevolence, the melee version. You have Razorback Gauntlets, which are melee gloves. Tier 90s. And then you have, finally... Oh yeah, you have Trimmed Masterwork. Oh, you have Virtus? Oh yeah, Virtus is, I guess Virtus is from Nex, isn't it? Then you also have Torva, right? Or do you guys have a different version of Nex? Because our version of Nex drops Torva, Virtus, and... what's the other one? It basically drops an armor set for the 3 combat styles. Necromancy wasn't in the game at that point. Oh, it drops from Desert Treasure 2 bosses. I guess that makes sense, because Desert Treasure is still focused on Zeros, right? It's still like a Zerosian questline, or no? Because that's how Nex has them in RS3. Yeah, Torva's huge. Oh, so Torva's your number 1 gear. I gotcha. Okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, so instead of... Real talk, the ones above Torva for RS3 then, you have Masterwork, which is basically like a crafted blacksmithing one. Ooh, nice. You can then upgrade your Masterwork to be Trimmed Masterwork, which basically gets some extra passive abilities on top of it. And then finally you have Vestments of Havoc, which are the arguably strongest melee armor pieces in the game. I think still, yeah, because Primal Armor kind of sucks. It's just, you can't upgrade it with Invention. And once you're at tier 99, you really want Invention on everything. I mean, you kind of need it. Defense is the only one that hasn't gone to 120 yet, though. I'm pretty sure. So, like, you have Strength and Attack. It only works with max Strength build for that. Gotcha. We have some crazy strength builds, not gonna lie. I mean, we don't have as much balancing in terms of, like... There's not as much worry over stab slash crush, to be honest. Mostly because you don't have every option all the time. So you kind of just go with the highest level one Or the one with the best special attack, for the most part. Ore box. Wood box. I'm putting these things in here. These basically, you spend one to then double the resources you gain of that type. So, like, if I'm chopping mahogany wood, I spend one of these spirits and I'll get 2 mahogany wood instead of the usual one. And it applies for all the ones that I have spirits of. So that's kind of like a passive way just to gather quicker. Very useful in iron. Let me see here. Does magic go to... I think magic goes 120. Yeah, it does. If there's a masterwork staff... See, some of this stuff they've kind of implemented, and I would have known about it had I been on my other account, but I've kind of left that one in the wind. I think it's plagued with too much MTX. Your biggest melee accomplishment is Infernal Cape instead of Neck. Ooh. I assume that's from Inferno? Or is that from something else? Because I have seen the Inferno. We fight Zuck for our, like, ultimate cape. We have to do, like, a deathless, hardcore version of, fighting Zuck. Maybe I leave this unaugmented. Oh yeah, I also need 80 prayer bad. 80 prayer is the thing that's holding me back from tier 90 necromancy gear. But I currently cannot. Yeah, I cannot fight Grugorovic yet. He has an 80 prayer requirement. I have my blueberry pie ready to go though. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we have that. Actually, we fight... Jad is kind of like a mini-boss in RS3. Because he is still the final boss of the original fight caves. But then we have the fight kiln. During the fight kiln, you have waves where you fight 2 or 3 Jads at a time. And then we have Zuck, which is like sequentially after the fight kiln. So it's like an ultra beefed up version. It's kind of like easy, medium, hard mode of the same style of things. If you've never seen a Zuck run on RS3, it's really fun. My character is not ready for Zuck yet. I mean, I'm sure I could clinch it out. I just don't think I could do it on every combat style. I could do it on Necro. But I feel like if you can't do a boss on Necromancy, it's kind of a skill issue for the most part. I want good snails. So I have 349 kills on the Karnas. All I'm missing is the pet. I mean, there's only 3 drops. It's the harpoon, the ranged necklace, and then the pet. Maybe I do gate. Earthquake drops from a big boss demon called Yama. Ooh, Yama. We do not have a boss like that, as far as I'm aware. We have Yaka, who's a giant water snake. Yakamura. Or, sorry, Yakamaru. Not Mura. Oh, dude, my favorite. Wait, you know what? Fuck it. Look, I'm just gonna show you Zamorak for a second. We're not gonna kill him, because I am woefully unprepared for this. However, it would be kind of funny. Yeah, let's roll up in Mage. I just want to show you this room. Because this thing goes crazy, dude. I might actually have to run the long way. I don't even think I have the, I definitely don't have the port. But if we're talking, like, big demons, this is the biggest demon I know. Yeah, I don't have Zamorak in Undersea anymore. Let's run from Crosis. Let me turn up the music for this as well. Not for this area, but for... You'll know when we get there. Because I'm telling you, if you've never experienced... Oh. Because here's the thing, too. I think they did such a good job building up to the Zamorak boss fight as well with the quest lines. Because they were actually, like, building him up to be an existential threat to all of Gielinor, to be honest. I am heading north. Hey, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad to give some background noise to the Slayer task. Especially the bad ones. So hopefully you don't then associate me negatively as a result. I'm gonna show you here the big bad Zam. Zamor. Alright, let's head into the Zamorakian Undercity. I'll disregard Temple. Alright, let's go into 4,000 in rage. Oh, okay, we're just gonna play this cutscene real quick. I'm gonna use the bathroom while it plays as well. It's just awesome.
I am Zamorak. My life has been long, and throughout it I have lived by one maxim. Liberty or death. Frenescae was the perfect world. Harsh, but fair. Survival forced my people to become the greatest of warriors. When the stranger promised us conquest and plenty, we followed him. It was a mistake. On Gielinor, I built a mighty empire in the name of the dark god Zaros. But he and I did not share the same vision for the future. When I saw freedom, he saw only control. My people, once warriors, became priests, bureaucrats, sanitation engineers. To win their freedom, I struck down a god. To safeguard it, I became one. On Infernus, I led a downtrodden people to victory. Hostilius, a corpulent monster grown fat and indolent, maintained order through rules and laws. His laws did as little to protect him as his skin did. I strung up his corpse as a message for all to see. Such is the fate of all tyrants. The Avernic demons, now free, serve me willingly. Back on Gielinor, pretenders picked over the remains of my empire. For an age I battled them. An age of strife, of progress, of glory. While I fought on, none could establish the safety, the security that they so craved. For an age, Gielinor was truly free. They
Oh yeah,
against
I'm back
me,
now.
and I was banished.
Dude, yeah, trust me.
My long absence,
And if you want to talk about
his will has
Zaros,
become weak.
whew,
Saradomin's fingers are wrapped tightly around its throat.
let's just say I fear his sister more than him.
My demon army will make short work of its farmers, woodcutters, and fishermen. The survivors will be strong.
Real talk, this cinematic is so hype.
No choice. Gillinor's
And
people will be free.
I mean, it really puts into context
Die.
Zamorak's just driving force.
Liberty or death.
Liberty or death. He said, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna be that guy. Let me actually turn it off of 44,000 enrage. I'll get one shot instantly. By just literally by an auto attack. In this gear. So let me put it on story mode. We'll put it on babies first, boss mode. Wait. I can't teleport to Zamorak? Hold up. Hold up. Hey. Try 0%, see if I can teleport there. Mode. Yeah, this is spooking me. Enrage mode 0%. If that doesn't work, then I would have to clear the actual dungeon to be able to do it. Enrage mode 0%. Functionally identical to normal mode. Okay. Apparently, I would need to clear this. I'm not powerful enough to do this on this account right now. That said, though, look up the fight. I wish I could show it to you right now. I was just gonna go in, show you a couple of mechanics, and then die. It is badass, because essentially the goal of the fight is, because Guthix is dead and his edicts that kind of protected the world are now fading away, you're trying to reinstall the edicts on your own while fending off an actual god. And then your goal is then to get him off-world with those edicts in place to prevent gods of your choice from being on the planet when you choose. Zaros, though, or Zaros, I've met in-game. There are some quests that you get to where you finally get to meet Zaros after all this. Complicated character. Very complicated. Because his whole thing is to kind of never let you know what he wants until he needs it. So to kind of leave you in the dark questioning his motives. It's kind of his MO. That quest I was talking about before, though, Extinction, that is going to be kind of the next major goal of this account for the rewards that you get, but also it's my favorite quest they've ever made. Because the crux of this is that, well, I'm sure you know of an Elder God. If you don't know Jas, as in the Stone of Jas, Jas is an Elder God, one of the creators of Gillinor and the universe at large. The problem is, a couple years back we discovered that there are some eggs of Elder Gods that are going to hatch, and if they hatch on Gillinor, they do so by consuming the energy of everything on it. Because they're kind of essentially an elder god of creation and destruction incarnate. One of the gods wants to let that happen just somewhere else. Everyone else in the world wants to just kill them. And the final fight of that quest line, or of that quest specifically, Extinction, you're on a different planet where that god is then bringing those eggs to hatch, dooming the entire planet, and you're basically trying to stop them from waking the eggs. But ultimately it's a fight of survival because you just can't do shit against them. They're a god. For how powerful you become in RuneScape as a result of Gothics, which I could go on and on about that, but I'm not going to right now. Too much yapping. You can't stop her. Dude, I'm also mad. I have so many hilts here, and I'm just missing God Sword shards, but I don't think I should go into God War's dungeon until changes get implemented, because I believe that'll be next week. So I need to do stuff that probably isn't going to change between now and then. The broad bolts is the symbol for. Spiked head, base stun. That's not. Oh yeah, I want to save all my blue charms. Let me do some thieving real quick, actually. It's easy. We're gonna be a real thief here. I know you guys don't have this in in OSRS, but here in RS3, I can go into people's homes and crack open their saves and just steal from them all throughout Galenor. I'm gonna be cracking open some Caridian Desert safes though, just for one level. I say one level. If you're an OSRS player, that sounds like a lot. If you know safe cracking is so quick, but it is a very active training method. There's no AFK. You're kind of just constantly on the move here. The Slayer, or what's the mushroom fairy ring? I'm actually going to take you to a lot of spots here that don't exist in OSRS. Real talk. You OSRS players should convince the team to give you this city I'm about to show you, which is Menaphos. If you've done the desert quest, you should know that it does exist. It's just been closed off to the outside world. Really nice city, though. I think it got a mixed reception when it dropped. Granted, they fixed basically all the problems with it since its release. But at this point, I think it's just kind of the best mid-level skilling hub in RS3. I'm just gonna rob some people in this city too. At lower levels, you kind of rob people in like Lumbridge, Varrock area. You kind of move throughout the world to different areas, which I quite like because I really like that they add new content to already existing areas. Keep it fresh. Oh, you guys have Prif as well? Nice. I can show you RS3 Prif. Yeah, Prif is gorgeous. Yeah, the elves really know how to build. But for me, I think actually Menaphos came out after Prith for RS3. So I don't know, this one is arguably better, but it's also very different designs. This is like very colorful, you know, as you can see, it's very, I mean, reminiscent of sort of Middle Eastern lands, very colorful silks. Whereas the Elven one is kind of more, I don't want to say it's colorless, it's more monotone in its palettes, because it's kind of crystal blue and white is kind of the whole city, whereas this has more variety. Shit, what's the code here? So I know for last time, CKQ. CKQ. But like, this place is gorgeous, you know? With that said, we're gonna rob another house. Rich city means lots of pilfered loot. After this run, I'll show you a quick look into Prith. I just want to go through all the Prithian safes first. That should honestly give me a level or close to it. And I can do these faster. That's why I was taking note of the fairy ring. With the addition of the fairy ring, that should speed me up by actually quite a bit, because I'm not gonna have to do that running. I can just port back to Menaphos. I could save like a minute, to be honest, which is massive. Obviously, I didn't have very optimal surges, but RS3 is a lot about optimization of movement for stuff like this. Because then obviously there's a variable amount of time you have to wait for the safe to open. You can do things to speed it up, like clicking it when it turns blue. But I have instant teleports. You know, all these things that make it so much quicker. We are going to run out this way. Pizza King. Pizza King the Stuffed? Hell yeah, dude. You do run into a lot of fun names like that, which is always great. Alright, we're gonna exit out of Menaphos, which by the way is still next to Sophonem, which looks very similar to how it does in OSRS. Obviously, it's up-resed a bit, but it doesn't look anywhere near as good as Menaphos. We're actually not going to go to Sophonem, though, because there's nothing there for us to rob. Everyone there is too poor. Sorry, I don't rob the poor people. I rob the rich people. Like the mayor of Narda from the from the questline of whatever the fuck it was called, I forget. It's up here, right? Yeah. But I actually, it was last stream I unlocked Prith on this account. Prith is a very high level unlock with a long quest line. And it's meant to be like or it was at the time, the high level skilling hub. Where it has like a grand exchange at the center and everything. Very, very useful. But I did go for the unlock on stream. That was fun, but it did take a while. A little bit shorter than I thought it would take, though. I think in the end, the stream is only 4 or 5 hours it took me to complete the remaining quests. Those quests are no joke. They take quite a bit. Oh, that must be this one. Last room. This one. rob these people real quick and get out of here. I'll show you Prif real quick. Then I might go for another run of this. Do it a bit more optimally by using fairy rings. I think honestly the longest time it takes is for me to get to these two spots, Narda and Olnevidnich, however you pronounce that city. Alright, check out Prif. This is the Crystal City of the Elves. Here's the center of the city. Which this right here, if I move out a bit. Crystal Tower. Then you have some area to train Agi here. You have a full Agi course. All the way up here, you can do some prayer training by cleansing this giant stone. You can do some farming. Woodcutting. Basically every section here has different stuff you can do. And every hour two of the areas are empowered. So you basically get extra XP and stuff. So if you have the level requirements for everything, you can spend your entire day skilling in here and it would be very optimal in most cases. I mean, it's not... Sometimes it's not the perfect option, because there are other scaling areas, obviously, but very convenient. I mean, you have magic trees there, you have yews, you have a whole ton of rocks, you have a Slayer Master, you have a construction area. Yeah, Prif is pretty big here. You have Divination area, which I know you guys don't have. But we have like a housing portal too. Furnace area. You know, there's a lot of skills you can train here. What does this guy have? Oh yeah. Music, really beautiful too. Some harps. Oh, that person doesn't know that they changed harps. Or, not yet, but they will. They're wasting their time. Yeah, this is Prif. I did unlock it. Sadly, I don't have the levels to take advantage of it yet, in most cases. Like, I'm one level off for the agility course. I can use the farming patches, which I have been. I can also chop most of the trees. But I think, honestly, that the trees are the least useful area. It is kind of Diablo-coded, high heavens. You're definitely right on that. But I think that's also just the aesthetic of the elves in general, you know, is like a sort of pristine, perfect crystal area. Like in RS3, I'm not sure what the lore is for OSRS, but they literally grew this from a crystal tree seed. So as you can see, we're like far off the ground here. As we are high up in the sky, relative. Just relatively. We're up on a mountain. But the entire city is made of crystal that was then sung by the elves. And then you could actually crystal sing some stuff into tools and weapons and armor. Alright, let me get back to a little bit of thievery. Dude, it's crazy. Even with me taking that break there, it still has my XP an hour at 142k for thieving. That was with me taking that, what, 5-minute break to talk about Priv. Let's reset my hour, try to play a bit optimally here, see how well this goes. I only need 1 level anyway. Don't ask me about Bofa. I was there when Bofa was written. Yeah, I mean, have you heard of my Sugandis tree, though? That's actually the highest level tree you can grow in RuneScape 3. The Sugandis is, it's a fruit tree. Though the Sugandis does also specialize in nuts. Suboptimal movement, whatever. Go merch. Wait, shit. Did I forget the... Yeah, there's a ports one, isn't there? So I actually missed one safe last time. We'll get it this time, it's fine. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I know the exact optimal route for me. We're gonna run over to the other side of this district, get the other one in the other house. Then we're going to use the underground pass. Not the underground pass, but the little passageways here. Shifting tombs. Go to ports. Then we're gonna use Candor and Teleport to take the Fairy Ring back to Metaphos, to the Imperial District. Loot those two, then we're gonna port Metaphos again to get closer to the area where we can actually fucking get to Narda and Polynimnich. That's the plan. Nope, I didn't want to steal from you, but I did. Ports. Going to go south. At the corner. Oh, come on. Surge. We're just gonna go for 78 thieving, because then I can pickpocket archaeologists. And once we can pickpocket archaeologists, I can kind of AFK that to get material specifically so that I can make binding contracts, so then we can do our water fiend task. Candor Port. That's right, the same old port you guys use in OSRS. Shit. Just slowed myself down. I'm gonna run over here, same as you guys do, to the good old fairy ring. Fuck. What was it in Menifos? Bro, I'm so dumb. Riff. What the hell? It is definitely slower now, but whatever. CKQ, CKQ, CKQ. We're gonna start with the north one. Last one here in Menifos. We're actually going to port to Menifos. This is faster than running to the lodestone. We are going to go this way. It's slightly faster. Like, do this. Go merchant. That was a bad surge. Here. Go this way. I'm going to take this to Narda. Alright, isn't that the Elemental Workshop opener? Crack open a cold one in the Caridian Desert with the boys. Where'd the music go? All. Spoiler alert, Simona right there, that Flare Masker, is actually a Masket in disguise. Don't accept tasks from her. She's the goddess of destruction. Hey, you too, man. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Streaming consistently, but if you see me on, feel free to hop by. I got all my VODs on the YouTube as well. Spoiler alert, I did not get the dragon pickaxe, by the way, in the recent stream. Otherwise, today I'd be doing something that's not thieving, probably. I'd actually, like, consider doing Gate of Validness. Or honestly, grinding out more for the Gilded Pick for Encanto. Go back to our period. By the way, I'm only going to stream for like 30 more minutes. Maximum. As the title said, it's a short stream today. Merch. Wrong way, dumbass. I'm locked in on this XP now. We're at 305k XP an hour, and that's before I've done my first turn-in. If you don't know, you get essentially a bonus boost of XP once your loot bag is full and you go fence off the items. The Thieves Guild. Kind of makes the XP nutty at the end of all of them. Okay, now we're Ken Doran. Cool. CKQ, easy. That was tough. Definitely what I wanted to do, Jagex. Thank you. Of course, it's blame the player. I think it'd be cool if I could direct my surge better, like I can with dive. Oh, I guess I understand that would remove the entire identity of surge versus dive. Cool to have more movement options though, other than those, even if they have to share a cooldown. Loot bag is full. Okay, we're at 314k XP an hour. I'll re-update once we're at the cellar, just so you can get an idea of what this actually looks like. Go trapdoor. Okay, we are currently at 306, 305. I'm now at 465k XP an hour. And just like that, pickpocket archaeologist. I should be able to actually pull up the wiki for which archaeologist I want to pickpocket. Journal. So, ideally, I want the ones that give me, I guess, chaotic brimstone and hellfire metal. So infernal source, I guess. Yeah. Sounds about right. Ooh. Moonrise. I haven't even gone to the Moonrise Temple yet. We'll get there eventually, though. Let's just check this out. Trainee. That's a trainee. Can't pickpocket you. I can pickpocket you. Good corner spot. Real talk, I'll take the chronotes as well. Ideally, though, what are we getting? Chaotic brimstone and hellfire metal. I guess getting the brimstone helps, but really, bro? Could be in here. There's a better spot. To be honest, maybe not though. In which case, maybe it's better if I just... Ooh, wait, no, that's archaeology professor. Let's just try one of you guys then. How do I get the mushroomy pickpocket bag? Blueprints. 82 invention. Okay. I'll grab my archaeology. That. It's a shame. I think they should step in that spot for me to just mass grab them, but perfect. How's this quicker? XP an hour is going up. Okay, so in game it's telling me 230, 240. I don't know how much XP an hour this actually is. Because it just keeps climbing on the in-game meter. I think if I just stay here, this guy can't move. Oh, they became aware of my presence now. Got about 280 on the meter. Do we make it 300? Probably not, but 285. Yeah, so max efficiency about 285. With me getting blocked in the face by this guy over and over though. Of the 280 something. Actually, we're almost at 290. So I guess so long as I'm quick on the freedoms, I can be just under 290. Oh! Misclick of a lifetime, dude. I think he's also stuck here, though. Oh, he could just walk right out, can he? He's choosing not to. That's probably you. This is really bad for materials, not gonna lie. I don't know why they ever pitched this as a way to actually gather them on iron. It's just not. Let's go. Alright. Coming up on... I'm checking my alt one and comparing it to the in-game XP meter. We just crossed 300k an hour, according to Alt 1. Oh shit. We ran out of divine energy too. That's fine. Let's sift this real quick. See what we actually get in terms of materials. I'm not worried about the XP from this. Honestly, I might have to just go do Secrets of Amberfell. Not on stream. Just to get access to Moonrise Temple to start doing some archaeology there. Hold on. Four slots there. I think we'll be able to store everything but the Cathixian one that we get in the new dig site. Wrong thing. Yeah. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it a stream there. Nice and short, 2 hours, 15 minutes. Appreciate you guys who came out, hung out for a little bit. Shout out to everyone who checks it out in the VODs over on YouTube. And I'll try to be a bit more consistent on streaming, not necessarily on the hours that I stream or when I start or anything, but that I'll at least be streaming more often. That's all I can promise. Alright, appreciate you guys.